In this sponsored tutorial, we're going to check out the WP301 Redirects plugin that allows you to do your 301 redirects, 404 pages, including auto redirects from 404s if you have the Pro version. And it also does link scans to make sure you're not linking to any neighborhoods on the internet that are bad, which is going to ruin your SEO. We're going to check out everything there is to know about this plugin in this tutorial, and it's also on AppSumo, which is a great bonus. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. I try to answer the best I can. My name is Bjorn from WPLearningLab. We help you get better at WordPress so you can earn more for yourself, for your customers, and for your business. And if you haven't done so yet, click subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss any future videos. Now let's get started. This is the 301 Redirects plugin right here. This is the free version. There's also a Pro version, and in this tutorial we're going to take a look specifically at the Pro version, but the free version has all these features that are listed here. A lot of these you'll see in this video, and the Pro version adds a few additional features that you see here. And so you're going to see everything the free version does plus what the Pro version does in this tutorial. We're going to install this on our RVing site right here. Let's just go into the dashboard. Let's go to plugins and add new, and I'm going to look up 301 redirects. This is the one we want right over here. Click on install now and then activate. Now we have a new menu option over here under settings, as our little walkthrough tour there says, and it is right here. Click on that to see the options for this plugin. And this is, of course, the free version. Currently it's an AppSumo, so you see this little pop-up right here. So you can get it for a lifetime if you want it for a lifetime. You can also see more information on the Pro tab, or the same information, actually. So first we see the Redirect Rules tab. This is where you create redirects, which is the core of the plugin. It's called the 301 Redirect plugin. It does a whole lot more than just redirects, but this is the core of the plugin right here. You can choose the type of redirect, 301, which is permanent, 302, which is temporary, 307, not sure what that is, but it's a type of redirect, and off, meaning turn whatever redirect you create here off. So if you make a temporary one, say for example, you're redesigning your homepage and you're redirecting to a different homepage for a while, then you can turn that one off once you finish the homepage and want the traffic to go back to the real homepage. We're going to create a permanent redirect, which is the 301, and I'm just going to type in something here, family camping trip. This is not a real page on the website, mind you, but this is where you type in the URL of the actual page that you want to redirect. This should be something that you do if you change the keywords you're targeting, because you want to have your keywords in the URL if at all possible. This should also be something you do if you're merging articles together and you want this article to redirect to the other article where you put the content from this one. And so you've merged articles, but you want to keep a different URL as the URL for the article. So you do a redirect for that. Maybe you are migrating to a different domain name. You want to redirect all your pages to their respective pages on the new domain. That's where you use 301 redirects as well. There's a lot of reasons you want to use redirects, and there's a lot of reasons you want to make it easier for yourself. You can also do redirects like this in the htaccess file. I have tutorials for that and card up above and the description down below if you want to check those out, but it only does the 301 redirects. This plugin does a whole lot more than that, so keep that in mind. That video I just mentioned does not replace this plugin. It's just one component of what this plugin does. So we have redirect from this page to anywhere you want. Let's redirect it to a post. Let's just pick a post right here. Let's pick that one and click on save. And now if we go to this page, see if we can highlight it or click on it. We can just click on it. It redirects to this page. And that's exactly what we want. And again, this was a fake page. So you can do this for fake pages as well if you want. You could also make this fancy URL type of idea. So you could have this be your domain name / sign up / opt in / whatever you want. You can redirect to a landing page, but you can have this be prettier than maybe your landing page URL is. Or you could have it be customized, maybe specific to Instagram. Maybe it's your domain name / Instagram opt-in, but it all goes to the same place, just so you can make the link prettier or more applicable to the platform. You can also see how much traffic that link gets. I'm going to refresh to see if it counts our little traffic that we did just there. And it did. It counted us visiting that page. So that's pretty sweet. You can also click on edit to edit whatever you want regarding that URL. You can also delete by clicking on delete. I'm going to go ahead and delete it because I don't need that redirect. It's a fake redirect, but you only want to delete those when absolutely necessary on your own site. The 404 error log, this currently has nothing going on because we just installed the plugin. A 404 means a page that's missing. So if a guest post links to your site, or Google found a page on your site, or what have you, somewhere there's a link to a page on your site that's not there anymore, it will give a 404 error to your visitor. It's not something you want to do. And the 404s on this site, let's see what they look like. Just put in a gibberish URL up there and we'll get a 404. This page does not exist. You can customize these pages as well, but this is what the page looks like at this time. So this is a 404. And now that I've visited that, it should register a 404 right here. So let's refresh and see what happens. So we have two 404 hits showing up here, and it's likely due to antivirus software scanning the site first before it lets me actually visit it. So we get a hit from the antivirus software, and then I get a hit from me actually visiting. So you should not be seeing doubles when you see the 404s unless you have antivirus software as well. User location and referral URL you can find in Pro. The referral URL is pretty important because that's where the link is incoming from. So if this 404 is generated from a guest post, you'll be able to see what the post URL is. You can reach out to that website and say, hey, we changed our URL over here. Can you please update the URL on your end? Additionally, you could just create a redirect. So this page is a 404. Well, there's a couple options. You could create a page that's there. So if this is a site that's linking to you, but they don't want to change the URL on their site, or they're unresponsive when you ask them to, you could just create a page with this URL. So instead of the 404 page here, you'll get actual content. You can also just redirect this. See if I click on here, it takes us to the page itself. I was hoping there would be an easy way to just say, I want to make this a redirect, but I don't see it here. Maybe in the Pro version. We'll install the Pro version in a bit. We might see an easy way to just click a button and say, I want to redirect this to a different page rather than reaching out to the person who's linking to it. Because sometimes you can't reach them. Sometimes it's Google who doesn't care. And eventually they're going to update their index to remove your 404s, but that can take a long time. So it's best to redirect. And if there is no one-click button that we see later, all we have to do is just copy this, go to the redirect rules, have a 301 redirect. You want a 301 your 404s generally. Put that in there and add the proper page you want to redirect to. And that's how you can make a redirect to solve your 404 problem. And if you're finding this tutorial helpful, click the like button because that helps this video show up for more people on YouTube so we can spread the knowledge and help more people with this information. So make sure you click like if you like this video. There's also a link scanner. This is a Pro version only. We'll see that in a little bit. But here's some details on what this link scanner is going to do for us. Then we have tools and options. Up here we have Pro options. We'll check those out in a minute. Then we have tools like emptying our cache, delete all redirect rules, reset redirect rule hits, which is the number of visits to each redirect, import redirect rules, and export redirect rules. Then we have support, and the free version, you get support through the WP forum. You'd get there by going to this page here and then going to support. I've linked to this page in the description down below, and the Pro users get a contact form to email the developers directly or the developers team directly. So as you can see, this plugin is not super complicated, but this is the free version. Let's install the Pro version to see what else it can do. When you have the Pro version, you'll have a fancy dashboard like this. In here, you have a fancy license key, and we need to download the plugin. So we copy the license key, then we click on download plugin. Let's save this to our plugins folder, and then come back over here, go to plugins and add new, upload a plugin, drag and drop that right in there, click on install now, and then activate plugin. And now we have Redirects Pro installed. Under settings, here it says 301 Redirects Pro, and you notice the other 301 Redirects link is gone. It's just the Pro one now. So the Pro encapsulates both the free and the Pro version. Paste your license in here, click on save and activate. We passed all the checks. You can also skip the setup if you want. I'm going to go through it, click on next. Auto redirect 404s will auto redirect 404s, and this is a type of smart redirect. It will detect misspellings of pages and redirect those to the correct places automatically. So in the example you see here, the URL is missing the E at the end, and the plugin adds that E on because it knows that page exists with this one character change, and it'll redirect to that location. If the misspelling is way off base, this likely won't work. But if the misspelling is pretty close to what an actual URL is on your site, this will auto redirect for you, which is a pretty awesome feature and leads to a way better user experience. And you might be saying, well, most of my visitors don't type in my URL. They click on a link to get to specific pages on my site. That's true. But what if whoever typed that URL, wherever that URL exists, what if that has a typo? That's where this comes in really, really handy, especially when it's on guest posts on sites that you do not control and do not own. It can be a giant tedious pain to have to reach out to everybody and even to detect it in the first place, although the plugin will allow you to detect 404s that are reached from other websites. But this makes it so much easier because it auto redirects. For the 404 page, we have the default one. We can also choose a different one if we want to create our own custom 404 page. Elementor can also create 404 templates if you're using Elementor. I'm just going to use the default. Click on Next. Email address for reports. It autofilled my email. Do we want 404 email reports once every 24 hours, once every week? 404 log retention policy. You can change how many log events are allowed in the log or how many days you want to keep them. Keep in mind, these are stored on your server. So if you go to keep all event logs and you have lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of 404s, it could become a pretty big file pretty quickly. Redirect email reports. You can choose options there. Redirect log retention and upload logs to your redirects dashboard. I'm going to enable this, and that dashboard is this area over here inside of our 301 redirects account. I'm not going to, actually I am. I'm going to set this to 1 week for these emails. Normally I don't like getting too many emails about this kind of stuff because it's going to all appear in the dashboard. But I'm just going to activate these emails. Really depends how many sites you're managing. If you're managing 100 sites and you're receiving 100 emails every week about 404s and redirects, that's too much. At that point, you turn them off. Click on Next. Setup complete. Fantastic. So now we have a very different appearance on the Pro version versus the free version. Let's add a new redirect rule. Here we have a nice little modal pop-up for our redirects. Over here, we have some details about the redirect rules. Make sure you have a read through that. We can also make wildcard URLs, which can lead to infinite loops. That's something you definitely do not want. So be careful when you're making the wildcard URL redirects. Over here, we have a redirect enabled. Clearly we want to do that because we're creating a new one, or I guess maybe you want to create one for the future. I don't know. Either way, this is how you turn it on or off. Redirect from, let's choose a crazy page again. There we go. Query parameters. These are parameters that are in the URL. For example, you might know of UTM variables, which are from the Google UTM builder. I don't know what that stands for anymore. It basically allows you to track campaign data in your URLs. So where the lead came from, is it paid ads or email, and which campaign were they a part of, and which keyword, and blah, blah, blah. So if they have certain things like that in the URL, you can pass those on in the redirect. You can also just ignore all parameters. If this is above your head, don't worry about that. But if you do know what parameters are, these are great options to have. I, in fact, created just last week a redirect, a manual redirect, where I get a redirect from YouTube and I have URL parameters, UTM parameters in the YouTube link, but I want to redirect to a landing page. So I have to break up the URL, take all the parameters out of the URL using PHP, and then redirect to the new page by a URL that I created in the PHP code with the UTM parameters added to it. It sounds complicated, and it kind of is, but YouTube doesn't allow us a way around that. But with this plugin, maybe I could find a way around that or make that easier to do. And we choose where to redirect to. Let's just make that the home page. You can have regular expressions for your redirects if you want. If you don't know what that is, don't worry about it. If you do know what that is, this is a powerful feature to have. You can make the redirects case sensitive. So if I have a capital Y in the back here, that won't work, that redirect. Or sorry, it'll only work if there's a capital Y in the actual URL. So it has to be exactly the same case. I'm going to turn that off because sometimes people write in all caps. Sometimes caps are auto-inserted depending when you start writing. Like if you write the R first, some devices will just make that a capital R or a capital H. You can choose which type of redirect. We have permanent that we saw earlier, temporary that we saw earlier as well. 307 is also a temporary. We have some new ones in the Pro version, 303, 304, and 308. When you use those, I do not know. I only ever use 301 and sometimes 302. These others, I'm not quite sure when you want to use them. 307 and 308 look like overlaps from the first two, so I'm not quite sure. You can also cloak URLs. So you cloak the target URL behind the source URL. This is often used for affiliate links, so you can hide them. And the reason you want to do that is you want to make them look pretty, because usually affiliate links look terrible. And so this will help you make them look pretty. I'm going to stick with the 301. We have a priority field right here. It's auto-filled with number 10. The lower the priority, so number 1, for example, has the highest priority. So if you have a redirect that has a priority of 1, that's going to be fired first. And then priority of 2 will be fired next. Priority of 5 will be fired next. Priority of 10 will be fired after that. And the reason you want to do this, I think the only reason, is if you have redirect chains. For example, you redirect from YouTube to a page on your site, and then you redirect right away from that page on your site to somewhere else. You want to make sure those happen in the correct order. But I don't know why you do that. Redirect chains are kind of frowned upon by Google because they can detect multiple redirects. Anyway, you have the option to do that if you need to. You can also tag these to keep your redirects organized if you have lots of redirects. Then click on Add Rule when you're ready to rock and roll, and we have our redirect rule right here. Now, if I click on this, we will see our 404 page. Actually, won't. Sorry, we're redirected. That was the whole point of that exercise. We are redirected to the home page, so we don't see a 404 there. Now, if I refresh, we'll have one hit. And there is our hit. We even have a quick summary right up here. Redirects in the last 24 hours. 1, this is not the number of redirects created. This is the number of traffic through your redirects. Redirects since plugin installed, 1. 404s in the last 24 hours, 0. Redirect log shows us right in the dashboard our redirect log, so we can see which pages are redirecting, which ones get the most traffic, what the devices are, whether they're human or bots. The 404 log allows us to see something similar. Let's just go to a crazy page and generate a 404 and see what that 404 log says. Let's go to 404s, refresh. And here we have the same situation where we have the double hit again, and you see the refer. The first one is NA, which is not coming from anywhere, which is the antivirus software doing that first hit. And then we get the actual refer, which is the address I typed in, and then that is my legitimate hit. Under settings, we have way more settings than the free version. These are all very well explained, and the pro version also gives you email support. So if you have any problems with these, check out their email support. Under advanced, we can disable all redirects in one fell swoop. That could be handy. And then we have tools as well for importing and exporting the redirects. And the link scanner will scan our entire site to check for problems with the links. This is done by a third-party SaaS owned and operated by Web Factory Ltd. This is the team behind 301 Redirect, also the team behind WP Reset, WP Simple Author Box, I think it's called, coming soon, and maintenance plugins. They've got a lot of plugins in their portfolio. Anyway, so this is not some third-party random place. This is the same team that created this plugin. And also, absolutely no private information from the website is shared or transferred to Web Factory. Only publicly accessible content will be checked. I'm going to click on Check and Analyze, and we're going to let that run while we look at some more stuff. Let's go to Support. There's a documentation link right here. You can also contact support through this widget here. Of course, it shows documentation first. Click on, go to the Ask tab, and then you can contact them directly through there. While this link scan runs, I'm going to head into the dashboard. This dashboard gives you information about your sites that you're maintaining. So currently it says no sites, even though we just added it to one. So let's click on refresh to see if it auto updates this. It does right there. If we click on managed sites, it's going to show all of our sites. You can do various things with these sites. You can block them. You have remote actions, sync and revalidate license, sync stats, sync logs, view the logs, and generate PDF reports. With the Pro version, you can generate white labeled PDF reports, so you can offer this as a service to your customers. And if we head to brands, this is where the white labeling is. Looks like you can add more than one brand as well. And under sites, we see our sites again. And under logs, we see 404 and redirect logs. Remember in the settings, we decided, or we said that we want to upload our logs to the site. This is where they would appear when they're uploaded. The link scanner, which is currently running on our site right here, has a dedicated page inside of the dashboard. So Link Scanner analyzes all the outgoing links on your site. It collects over 10 data points to make sure links aren't broken or linking to malicious content. For SEO, you may not know this, but you don't want to link to what are called bad neighborhood websites. You can look up what that means in Google. Google's got a whole list. And if you link to those places, it may affect the SEO on your site. Even though you don't have that content on your site, you're still linking there, and Google says, maybe we don't want to show that to people, so it can affect your SEO. With this account I currently have, I have 20 monthly credits for the backlink for the link scanner. And 1 monthly credit is 1 full site scan. So this scan we're doing here, once this is done, that should be 1 credit used. We'll see if that's true once the scan is done. We also have one-time credits, 100. This is the same thing, only the one-time credits, they don't renew. These ones renew on the first of each month. And with the one-times, it's also 1 credit per full site scan. We have daily usage stats over here, and we can buy more credits if we want to. We can set up a profile, or not set it up, change our password and things like that. Go to the documentation, which is very thorough, and go to support, and we get the same support widget over here as we saw earlier. And so that's pretty much everything the plugin does for us, which is a lot for just a 301 redirect plugin. We're going to let the scan finish over here, and then we're going to see what this actually does for us when it's all done. Link scanner is all done, and we have a summary of our results right up here. Total pages scanned, 49. Total links found, 1,306. And total problematic links, 9. So we have 9 problems going on. We'll get to those in a little bit. It looks like these 3 pages have all the problems. First, I want to show you we have a list of pages here. This is not all the pages that were scanned. We can go through the pagination right up here to see all the pages. We can also change the sorting. We can also change the number of results per page that are displayed, and we can also go to a page quickly using this drop down here. So the problematic links that we have, I put one in on purpose, and that's this one right here. If I open details, I wasn't sure if I get a problematic link, so I put one in on purpose, which is this gibberish link right here. And the scan identified that link as being an issue, something we have to resolve. And all the links that the scanner scans, they check various metrics, or try to anyway. There's the Google Web Risk metric, the adult content, domain inbound links, domain Alexa rank, domain language, domain link hero malware, and domain link hero adult. So every link is checked based on those things, and hopefully it can get data. These question marks probably aren't returning data for those 3 items. But every link I've seen returns data for the Google Web Risk, the adult content, the link hero malware, and link hero adult, which are all very important, that those are all no's or not listed. The other ones are kind of nice to know, like inbound links, Alexa rank, and domain language are not super important for risk as far as links go, but the other ones are. So the other ones are checked all the time as far as I can tell, so that's important. So I'm going to X out of here and make sure I fix this link later. And we have our other problematic ones here, these 2. I did not add these links in, so we're going to find out what's happening here. Let's click on Open Details, and these 3 links that are wrong or that have errors are right here. And it looks like something changed on Amazon. I bet these are going to be 404s on Amazon. Let's open one. It's not a 404, but it's currently unavailable. So if I recall correctly, the links on these pages are made by a plugin that pulls the information from the Amazon API. And these products are all showing as currently unavailable, which is probably the problem, why those links are broken. And the scanner is identifying that as an issue. So this is something you want to look into. So having a scanner like this is great if you have a big Amazon site, because it can identify problems with your Amazon links. Let's check out these other 5 here. Open details, same thing, they're all Amazon. If I click on any of them, this one is not currently unavailable, but it has something else going on that I have to look into. So it's great that I have this information here that I can go and look into these links and see what the problem actually is. So the problematic links in my case here are not bad neighborhood links, but on other sites they might be. So it's problematic links are definitely something you want to fix as soon as you can. In my case, they're not huge errors because all those pages still exist. Google wouldn't be going to those pages and seeing 404s, which is good, but I still want to address them. So it's great the scanner picked them up. That saves me a lot of manual work trying to identify those links, which I wouldn't even have identified. I wouldn't even know that those pages are having issues. So that's fantastic. And if we go to the dashboard, if we can get there, here we are. Link scanner down to 19, and I guess if we go down to 0, it'll start using our one-time credits over here. And we see our scan is finished. Let's see if we can see our scan by clicking a link. Let's refresh. I don't see a simple link to see the scan, so you have to go into the websites to see the scan, but at least you have a log of which scans are done and when they were done. Maybe they'll add a link here in the future, because it'd be so much easier if you have many websites that you manage, you run the scan, or you go to each site, run the scan on all of them, and just shut them all down, and then just close those tabs, and then you come back into here, and when they're all done, you click on a link, and it goes back into that dashboard, so you can see all the stats in there. Anyway, maybe that's something they'll have in the future. There is a public roadmap for this plugin, and it's also on AppSumo as of this recording. So if you want to check it out on AppSumo, there's a link in the description down below. I don't know how long it'll be there, but it is there as of this recording. And if you're watching this after it's off of AppSumo, this is their website right here, pretty close to it anyway. This is their docs. This is the website right here, WP301redirects.com. If you like what you see in this tutorial and you want to check out this plugin, I encourage you to, because fixing your 301s and 404s and having it done easily and automatically is super helpful. Right now there's a 50% launch discount. Maybe this will carry on past AppSumo. I'm not sure, but currently AppSumo makes this much cheaper, obviously. So if you want to level up your 301 redirects and fix your 404s really easily and scan your links to make sure you're not linking to bad neighborhoods on the internet, which is bad for SEO, check out WP301 redirects. Next up, check out this video right here, which is about WP Reset, which is another plugin from Web Factory, the same developers of the WP301 plugin. This is also a great one if you build lots of websites. And if you haven't done so yet, click subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss any future videos. My name is Bjorn from WP Learning Lab. Till next time, keep crushing it, and we'll see you in the next video.